It's Bills week, bitches.
There it is. Football is back, baby. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And this week, I'm just a little bit more serious because this one is legit. This is the first true test for your Miami Dolphins. I mean, yeah, week one was a tough one. The Chargers, playoff team. Patriots, a good team. Broncos suck. Okay, we've had a couple of tests, but we're going to Buffalo, a team that has owned us for the last 6-7 years, and it's been hard to watch. And they're calling it a pick'em. I mean, it's the Bills minus 2.5, and you get 3 for being the home team. It's a pick'em game, really. It's going to be an awesome game. It's game of the week for sure, without a question. You've got an unstoppable force in Miami Dolphins offense going up against a relatively immovable object in the Bills defense. So let's break down this game a little bit, look at some X factors, and I'll give you guys my 5 keys to a Miami Dolphins victory. Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Gold Fine and Bowles, lawyers for the injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their 2 things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlayBookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. But let's start with a little background on each team. Miami, 3-0 to start the year, coming off of a 70-point win. 70-point performance, 50-point win over Denver in a very impressive display where every time they touch the ball, you're like, oh, they're going to go score, they're going to go score, they're going to go score. 10 touchdowns in one game is absurd. Absurd. And then you've got the Bills on the other side, currently 2-1, with their one loss being week 1 to the Jets, who are absolutely their kryptonite. They're going to struggle against the Jets. It just doesn't matter who's under center for them. And then they beat up on the Raiders and Washington, and all week long. I don't know if anybody watching this is into social media, if you guys are on X, formerly known as Twitter. The Bills are like, the Dolphins haven't played a good defense. We finally have a good defense, and they start listing off who the Dolphins have played. I'm sorry, but who have the Bills played offensively that makes you think, oh, wow, that's an impressive defensive performance? They lost to the Jets and Zach Wilson. They beat up on the Raiders, who have not scored 20 points in a single game. They only scored, 18 against the Broncos in their lone victory. And then they beat up on Washington, who also not a good team. Yeah, they put up a lot of points on Denver. That kind of seems like a theme where everybody's going to score on Denver this year. But Washington is not a good offense. They have a terrible offensive line, and the Bills absolutely feasted on them. So if you want to sit there and say the Dolphins haven't faced a defense like the Bills, you can super easily say the Bills have not faced an offense like this Miami Dolphins offense. The X factors for this game, kind of boring. On offense for the Buffalo Bills, it's got to be Josh Allen. It has to be Josh Allen. He has torched us in the past, absolutely torched us. You look at our 2 losses last year, 32-29 and 34-31, and our one victory, 21-19. Clearly, limiting him is key, and I'll talk more about that as we go. On offense for Miami, I'm going with Jalen Waddle this week. Tyreek Hill, they're gonna try to have a plan for him. Can you really plan for Tyreek Hill? No. But Jalen Waddle's back, and I'm waiting for that big performance. He's had a not a slow start to the season, but not big numbers yet, and then he missed last week. Obviously, didn't get in on the fun. I'm looking for him to get in on the fun this week. Against the Bills last year, he had 2 of the more iconic catches for the Dolphins season when you think about it. The one against the Bills where he broke open down the middle for like a 50-something yard gain, and then the touchdown against them in Buffalo where he caught it in the middle and just turned on the Jets and just cooked them. So I need to see some Jalen Waddle this game because Tyreek Hill can't do it all himself every single week, as amazing as he is. I would love to see Jalen Waddle go for $150 and a touchdown, and I'd feel a lot better about our chances. On defense, I'm going for the Dolphins with Xavier Howard. X did get a pick against the Patriots, but I've seen his coverage get blown a couple of times this year, and I'm worried age is catching up with him a little bit. He's going up against Stephon Diggs. Those 2 have been button heads for the last several years going at it, and you really wish Jalen Ramsey was here to take that matchup on, but he's not. No one's coming through those doors. It's going to be on X and the secondary to contain number 1 weapon, Stephon Diggs, because he's still a stud. He's getting up there, and yeah, he likes to yell at Josh Allen on the sidelines. The guy is a talented wide receiver. And Xavier Howard, if he can lock him up at least even a little bit, force Josh Allen into a bad force it trying to get it to Stephon Diggs and X come up with a pick, that would be massive. And for the Bills on defense, I'm going with linebacker Matt Milano. I don't like him, and if you ask most other fan bases, they don't like him either. He plays mean. He's a very talented linebacker, though. He's very good, and if you watch the film on the Dolphins-Broncos game, Tua manipulated their linebackers all day long with his footwork, with his eyes. Everything was moving those linebackers exactly where he wanted them so he could beat them in the other spot. It was impressive. It was impressive tape to watch. So, Matt Milano, if he isn't fooled, if he does what he needs to do and stays disciplined, he could be a problem for our passing game over the middle, and we'll have to pivot. And he's also good in the run game, too. The Bills are going to rely on him heavily to try and stop our running game that has all of a sudden become an absolute force. X Factors, Josh Allen and Matt Milano, the two captains for the Bills, and then Xavier Howard and Jalen Waddle for the Miami Dolphins. Let's get into the Miami Dolphins' 5 keys to victory this Sunday to move to 4-0 on the season. Number 1, contain Josh Allen. He gashes us with our legs. I can't think of many times where we've played them where he hasn't dropped back, nothing's open, pockets collapsing, he somehow gets away, and he's gone for 25, 30 yards, and it's so aggravating to see that. And we struggled against mobile quarterbacks the last several years. It seems like whenever we play a mobile quarterback, we struggle. Please contain him. Hold your assignments. If we need the defensive front to get home. Christian Wilkins, I know you and Josh Allen have some bad blood. We need you to win the battle this week, okay? We've got to get to him. We've got to keep him held in check. I'd love to see Javon Holland coming down and playing more spy against him like we saw last year. That worked really well. It does stink to have to take him out of the backfield and rely on the corners more, but Javon can keep up with him and can bring him down. Javon's playing like an all-pro safety this year so far. I'd love to see him in more of a spy role in this game. This would be a great game for Channing Tindall to step up at the linebacker position, or David Long, or Jerome Baker. We have all these fast linebackers, guys. Someone's got to keep up with him and contain him and watch for him to scramble. It's those broken plays where he just takes off and no one's around forever and ever. Those are back-breaking plays for a defense. Can't have it. Cannot have it. Number 2, once again, keep Tua upright. Keep him clean. 1 sack through 12 quarters is unbelievably good from this offensive line, which props to Butch Berry and the coaching staff for getting these guys all working as well as they have been. And it looks like Connor Williams is going to go, thank God. Wow, did he become super important to this offensive line. Yeah, I was frustrated with the bad snaps, and then I watched Liam Eichenberg snap the ball a couple of times and watched it just float to Tua, barely get there, throwing off every bit of timing. Oh my goodness. Liam Eichenberg's not a center. He's not an NFL offensive lineman. He's just not. He should not be on the roster. Please, get a competent backup center because that's not Eichenberg. Get an actual center who can snap the ball. I'd rather, if we have to have a backup center come in, I'd rather them be, like a D blocker, but really good at the snaps. Just get the ball to Tua. He's going to get the ball out of his hands super fast. It's okay. Just give me somebody that can get the ball to him effectively. That's not Liam Eichenberg. Offensive line, keep doing your thing. Teron Armstead, good to go. Connor Williams, looking good to go. Keep doing your thing, fellas. Number 3, and this one's an obvious one that you'll see in a lot of our preview videos, win the turnover battle. Josh Allen loves to throw them picks. He's got 4 interceptions this year. Yeah, they have a positive turnover differential. You can thank the Washington Commanders for that, for a positive 5 last week. That really helps. But last year against us, Josh Allen made several mistakes, especially in that playoff game. He threw 2 picks, one to X and one to Javon Holland, and then he had the fumble that he recovered for a touchdown. We can rattle him. He will make mistakes if you rattle him. Get home. Win this turnover battle and give our offense a chance to put up as many points as we can. I think this game is a race to 35. First one to score 35 wins because that'll be the last possession of the game. Number 4, this is a new one. Don't get cute. I don't like to see us on 3rd and 1 trying to run the ball up the middle and get stuffed, and then on 4th and 1 trying to run the ball up the middle and get stuffed on our own side of the field. You do that against Denver, and it is okay because our defense stepped up and Denver didn't score. But that could have been a pivotal moment in that game. On our side of the field, we didn't try anything creative. You're going to go for it. Put the ball in the best player's hands. Tua's not a sneak quarterback. He's not built like that. Trying to hand the ball off to Alec Ingold. Talk about telegraphing the play. Don't get cute here. Be smart. Take what's given, and don't try and take more. Be smart. That should have been it. Be smart and don't get cute. You start getting cute and trying these fancy plays that don't work, okay, I'm not happy. This is the Buffalo Bills, okay? This is a good football team. This is a top 5 football team in the NFL. It just is what it is. Don't get cute. And number 5, once again for the 4th week in a row, run the damn ball. We did it perfectly last week against Denver, who had 24 missed tackles. Yeah, it's bad on them. I like to think our running backs are extremely elusive, especially Devon Achane. God, he is so explosive. He is able to cut and not lose speed. That's not something that people can do, except he can, and he just has unbelievable speed. So does Raheem Mostert. Let's just run the ball down their throats all day long. Those are my 5 keys to a Miami Dolphins victory. Now, final score prediction. I told you guys this is going to be a race to 35. Last year in the first game, Dolphins won 21-19, and it ended with Josh Allen not able to spike the ball and try and give them a chance at a field goal. This year, he's not going to get a chance to get them a field goal because it won't matter, because the clock's going to strike zeros with them with the ball, and Dolphins winning 35-31. Book it. Miami moving to 4-0 after going into Buffalo. This is a statement game for Miami. This is personal. Go beat them on their home field and let the rest of the NFL know, yeah, we played some okay-ish teams the first 3. Buffalo's a pretty damn good team, and we're going into their house. We're going to take their lunch, and we're going to head home. Let's go, baby. Phins up. Oh, I can't wait. Going to be an awesome football game. I'm getting nervous, boys. That's just good. I get nervous for every game. Whatever. Phins up. We'll see you guys in the recap.